Origin unboxing today, because as many of you hit us about in DMs, emails, comments, Origin came out with a Moc Toe, and it's Moctober, so we had to do at least some of it this year. And so Origin sent us this box full of it's got to be at least 2 pairs of their new Mocs to unbox and just kind of show you what's going on over at Origin and check them out. And if you guys want to see these on the main channel, let me know, because it's kind of what this Rose Anvil 2 is turning into, a little bit of a feeder for the main channel. You know, we get a bunch of these boots in, and we kind of pick and choose how we want to do it based off of the feedback we get from this channel and what worked and what people watched, and kind of play with the angles before we even start planning videos. And it's fun to do because I just like unboxing stuff. It's like Christmas every time I do an unboxing. So let's figure out what's going on with Origin, because this is also like where I started to do some of my personal research and trying to figure out what's going on. So yeah, thanks to Origin for sending these in. If you don't know who Origin is, they're for sure the most American boot brand of all time. Like, not just in like tone and how they do things and their branding and who owns the company, but in how they actually make their boots. Because their previous boots that we reviewed on the main channel, if you remember, every single part of them are made, even the raw materials are made in the United States. The leather, the thread, the eyelets, the outsoles, the every other part like I think of, except one piece, which is that leather midsole. Because as far as I heard from Origin, there's nobody in the US that makes that specific type of veg tan, because you got Herman Oak, you've got Wicked and Craig, but theirs isn't necessarily like midsole leather. And so the guys that run this business and like the investors and stuff, like there's Jocko, there's Joe Rogan's homies with them, and all the guys are like jiu-jitsu dudes, because the whole reason that Origin got started wasn't with boots, it was with jiu-jitsu gis, and trying to make gis in the United States, and trying to make them the old-fashioned way. They saved a bunch of cool old-school machines, like a loom that was just left in an old factory, and they refurbished it and used it. And you know, they're just slowly changing how people perceive how stuff could be made in the United States, because so many brands are like, we would, but we can't afford it. There's nobody that makes that. There's nobody this. Meanwhile, Origin's like, well, if nobody makes it, we'll make it. Like, we'll go get that loom and we'll like fix it, and we'll make the material ourselves. We'll start from scratch with boots, completely change the way boot making's done in the United States with the construction methods, where they're sourcing the materials, their whole ethos behind all of it. So I like the dudes at Origin. I think they're just solid guys, and I think they're solid ethics, and they're trying to make a difference in the world, and I just can't help but like it, especially me being like very much leaning towards supporting American-made goods, being a leather goods manufacturer here in the United States in this shop. So I always like to support the guys that are doing similar things. So what is this Moc Toe? It's the Maine Moc Toe boot, natural wedge sole, $3.29. Description is not much of a description. But one thing that stands out right off the bat is Origin's 6-inch Goodyear welted Moc Toe. Because like I said, all the other boots that they made, they did it a completely different way. They made more of like, it's like a Blake stitch combined with the stitch down construction, kind of combining like Pacific Northwest style with like English style boot manufacturing. And they have completely unique paneling that's like big and sweeping, and they just make wild stuff that's unique and different. Enough chit chat, let's get to it. What am I cutting it open with? This little Kershaw live wire that Blade HQ did a little collaboration with, and this thing is so sick. I've definitely cut my finger goofing off with it too much. But, you know, I accidentally let my finger slide right there, and it just goes, and cuts my finger open. But that's my fault for being dumb with it. So if you want one of these knives, or any of the other knives that Blade HQ carries, because Blade HQ is like a big, like one-stop shop for knives. They do little collaboration knives. They do like carry a bunch of regular knives, and they're based out of Utah. I went down and filmed some content with them, and it was really fun. They're just like half an hour south of here. Ooh, new boxes. Got some stuff going on the inside. Okay, leather and brass made by American hands. Farmers, factory workers, craftsmen, they made this country, and they also made these boots. The origin of America's craftsmanship lives on in every pair. Cool. Let's do it. That's a nice looking boot. It reminds me a lot of, there are other boots, you know, that have the unique paneling, but it's a little more refined. You know, it's a lot more, to me, it's a little more aesthetically pleasing. That whole thing kind of sweeps around now. Let me get this out. You know, these lines flow really, really well. You know, you can start here, it all kind of wraps around, everything's continuous. You've got this that lines up. That's a pretty handsome little boot. I like this pattern a lot, especially on a mock toe. And this leather, I don't know if they say what this leather is, but I can almost guarantee this is Seidel's distressed, like brown distressed or whatever it is. Because I'm pretty sure like White's uses it. I think some of the other Pacific Northwest brands use a very similar leather. And so you can see it's got a good amount of pull up. And, oh, it's lined the whole way through. Interesting. But there is an internal counter cover. I don't know if it's leather or what it is. It looks like there's an internal counter cover. Fully lined. I wonder why they did that. I don't like lined boots personally because they smell a little bit faster than other boots. But they are more comfortable and they do wick your sweat. They just stink more. So I want to know why they did a lining in it. I don't know. That's the value of the Maine videos. So let me know if you want us to cut this part for Mocktober. I have a feeling a lot of people will. Dang, it's a good looking boot. Origins, that's the cool thing about Origin. They're so young and they're actually improving year after year. And I don't know for sure, but if this doesn't have that leather midsole, does that mean that it's 100% US made? Because this is a Maine Moc outsole. This is just like an Origin branded PU Maine Moc, which is in the US outsole. I'm assuming. I don't know for sure. Cool. That's a nice looking little boot. Let's open up the other one and see if it's any different. This one's lined as well. Okay, so what's the sizes? 10.5 and 10.5. So just two of the same boot. I wish, for me, because I have the tiniest little ankles, I like to have 3 speed hooks because sometimes I can't like get enough slack to actually speed lace it. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty handsome little boot. Let's try them on. Let's get to it. Let's do it. What am I wearing? My Smugs. These are the Goro collaborations where Smug stands for sneakers made using good shit. And that's what we did. We made sneakers with good shit. Try to make them like a sneaker to boot quality. And so it's like a tough break-in. They're they're a little heavier, a little more rigid, but you get like a, ooh, and it smells, okay, you don't even care. This has nothing to do with the video. But that Chrome Excel smell, when you take the boots off or your shoes off after a little bit of warmth and moisture building up in there, it smells good. I love the smell of Chrome Excel. It's like it's the most unique smelling leather. There's no other, especially the cowhide Chrome Excel, the horsehide Chrome Excel. It's like a weird, like little, like tangy sweetness to it, and I love it. Okay, let's try them on. I think that's gonna work just fine. It's actually pretty wide. You're like looking down on that. Yeah, it's not like a barefoot last by any means, but like just putting it like next to the Smugs just to show you. You know, what other boots do I have in here? To just show. Oh, actually, another Moc Toe. See what I mean? And these are obviously the, what are these, A75s? Notoriously narrow. So that's good. So the first last that Origin made was too narrow for my taste. You know, like I just had to go a little bit bigger size. And then they've just refined that last over the years. These are still going to be a little bit of a bear to break in because that leather's not just, it's, you know, it's lined, but that leather's still pretty freaking thick. I think it's probably around 2 millimeters, 2 to 2.5, which is good. That's like what you want for a work boot, in my opinion. Those are very comfy. I think it has something to do with this, like how there's no like overlapping seams through here. You know, it still is going to be a pain through here. Like it's going to take forever to break in like a regular pair of boots, but it is pretty comfy. Whew. Oh yeah. I can't really tell where my toe is, but I'd be fine with 10.5. I'm a 10 on the Brannock, and I like plenty of wiggle room. And I'm pretty comfy in a 10.5. You know, here I get some pressure, you know. I'm interested to see how this wears over time, see how it's kind of like flaring out a little bit. But honestly, pretty good. Let's see how they look. Good too. Yeah, they're definitely kind of a chunkier look compared to like, maybe like the Red Wings. It's just like some more bulk, you know, it's a little more stout. Probably because it has that full lining. So now let's do the real test, see if I can actually use the speed hooks with just 2 speed hooks. Yeah, that works, but barely. That's why I like 3 speed hooks. Most dudes have a lot bigger ankles than me though, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm getting some like bunching right here. What is that? There's some pressure right there. Other than that, they're pretty comfy. You know, you got like pretty seamless all the way around, like your most high pressure point spots, like on the side of your feet. So pretty good looking little boot. I like what Origin does. I like their whole thing. I like they're innovating and they're pushing and they're taking the things that people assumed were impossible and actually attempting them. So if you do want a pair of these, check them out. The links in the description. And if you want to see these in the whole Mocktober lineup, let me know. Because I want to, now that I've got them done, I'm like, okay, what is some of these, how does this all work? Like, what is that? Because I think that bunching that I'm feeling is from the tongue. And I want to know, like, is it fully 100% like US made? So let me know if you want to see it. Check out Origin's other stuff. I didn't even talk about their camo. I'm going hunting this weekend on the Spike elk hunt down in central Utah. I'll be wearing Origin's camo. So I might take, these aren't really hiking boots, so these are my work boots. They make nice camo. There's some videos I'll put of all the other stuff that I've done with Origin below. And thank you guys for watching these. It's just fun to sit down and unbox some stuff, talk about stuff lightly, kind of check out their website, what they're doing. Just kind of like a light view on all these brands and some of the stuff that's coming out. Less critical, less into the weeds, less like optimized for the algorithm. Just kind of having fun and rambling. So thank you guys. See ya.